Whether you're looking for a light meal or a great starter, this pan-seared salmon salad is a great one. It is filling, it's delicious, and it's healthy. And it's super easy to make. Pan-seared salmon salad with a honey and lemon dressing. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. If this is your first time tuning in, let us know you're out there by giving us a big thumbs up below and then hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss a video. Now, let's start cooking. So let's take a look at our ingredients. So of course we've got our salmon, and what we're going to do with this, and this is a boneless, skinless salmon fillet. For our salmon fillet, we're going to make a nice little rub, and for the rub, I've got about a teaspoon of salt in here, just fine sea salt. Then I've added some of this salty coastal pepper, and basically it's green peppercorns that have been mixed with a smoked salt, sea salt. And then we've got about a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper and a half teaspoon of smoked paprika. And that's it for this seasoning mix. You can use anything you want, but the whole point of this is that the salmon has got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of seasoning to it, and then we're going to make a wonderful vinaigrette, and it's going to be a honey and lemon vinaigrette dressing. So for that dressing, we've got some shallots, and they have to be very, very fine. What's called a ciseler, which in French means sizzle or chisel. And so I'm going to demonstrate how we get that really fine dice, or a mince for those shallots. And so that dressing is going to be the shallots, some honey, some lemon juice, and some good olive oil. And for our salad, we've got some fresh spring greens, just very tender spring greens here, and just a mixture of things. I've even got a little bit of spinach in there. I've got a little bit of arugula in there, just some wonderful spring greens. And the wonderful thing about this is that it's really seasonal. You can put any other vegetables that you'd like. In this case, we're doing spring vegetables. So I've got a mixture of some fresh radishes that have been, and the best way to do this, if you want this really nice look, is I've done these by hand, but if you can't manage to do this by hand, you can always put this on your Mandoline and slice them that way. I've got some really finely sliced carrots, and I've done what's called a paysan cut. I've done a really thin cut of just little triangles of my carrots. And we've got some fresh seasonal strawberries that we're going to add to the salad. And I've just cut those in half long ways. And we've got some cherry tomatoes, got a little bit of clementine here, and we've got some microgreens. And we'll just finish the top of our salad with these microgreens. And believe it or not, we're going to add a little bit of herbs to this. So we've got some fresh basil, and we've got some mint in here. And then we've got some toasted pecans, which are fantastic in a salad. And strangely enough, did you realize you could use the greens from radishes? People often throw away this part of the radish, but these greens are actually very tasty, especially when the radishes are a little bit younger. The greens are still nice and sweet and quite tender. As radishes get older, you can still use the greens, but you may want to cook them. They'll similar to what you would do with sorrel or spinach or something like that. So those are our ingredients. Let's get started. So to prepare our salmon, we're just going to rub it with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just using extra virgin olive oil. Just nicely coat it with a little bit of that. And now I'm just going to sprinkle our rub onto it. And we're just going to let this salmon sit in the refrigerator for a few minutes while we finish our other elements. So that's it for our salmon, and that's going to be a really nice seasoning for that. So we'll put that in the refrigerator. Now I promised I'd show you how to do the mango, so I'm gonna show you how we break this mango down. Let me just move this out of the way. And for the mango, for what we're doing today, we are actually going to peel the mango. And so I'll go ahead and do that. Just with a paring knife, a sharp paring knife. Okay, and once you get your mango peeled, we're looking for fairly thick slices. So what we're going to do now, mangoes have a pit right in the very center of them. It's an oval shaped pit. So I'm going to just cut the edge off, and I'm using a very thin, this is actually a fish fillet knife, which is really helpful when you're doing something like this. But I just want to get about a 1/4 inch thick slice of this mango all the way down. And that's really all we're going to need, but just to show you, with mango, if you're breaking this down for some other use, you could come in the center of the mango, and once you hit the pit, the seed, you'll know it. And now just leave your knife against that seed and just slowly come down like that. So that's how we peel our mango. And now for our salad, we're just going to make a nice little shape using our cutter. And so we'll just do a couple of shapes like that. That's the fun thing. The fun thing about this salad is that you can do all of this preparation way in advance of actually, having to prepare this, because this can all be done in advance and then put in the refrigerator until you are ready to serve it. Just like that. And that's how we do the mango. Okay, now for our dressing. So with the dressing, like I said, we're using some very finely minced shallots. And the way to accomplish that is, first of all, to have a very, very sharp paring knife. And so what we're going to do with our shallot is we've peeled the shallot, and I've just cut off, I've left the root end on, and I've just cut off the tip. And we're just going to make some very fine slices, vertical slices, just like that on this shallot. And the point is not to go all the way through to the end, so the shallot doesn't fall apart like that. And I'm just using my knuckle, it's really my fingernail here, to keep my distance here and to keep my hand safe. All right, and now once we've done that, we will use our chef knife to make some lateral cuts. And we'll just come straight down like this, just like that, with this knife. And now what we'll do is just come straight down. And now we're using our knuckle to guide this knife. And as we do this, we can just go straight down into the shallot, just like that. And that's how we get these very, very fine minces. And again, that's called the Ciseler cut. So that's going to be the basis for our dressing. Okay. All right, so to finish our dressing, we're going to do our lemon juice. And whenever you're using lemon and you want to squeeze it, it's a good idea to roll it so that you get the juices flowing. So we just roll our lemon and just cut it in half. And just with our juicer, and that's going to be enough for a couple of servings. So that's our lemon juice. So now to make our dressing, we've already got our shallots in there. We've got our lemon juice, and now I'm going to put just about a teaspoon of honey in here. And we can, this is all by taste, and so you can determine a little bit later how much of it, if you need to adjust something. All right, And now we're just going to drizzle our olive oil in. And you know, you could certainly add some Dijon mustard or even mayonnaise to this if you'd like. I'm just trying to keep it very, very light and to keep the spirit of the salad very light. All right, and I'm just going to just a little bit of fine sea salt, some freshly ground black pepper, okay, and let's give it a taste. It's fantastic. And it's got a really nice sweetness from the shallots, not only the honey, but from the shallots, it's got a really nice sweetness. It's very well balanced. I might put just a little bit more salt in it, but other than that, I think we are good to go. And it's very, very simple. So that dressing is ready to go. We'll go ahead and turn on our pan for our salmon. So anytime that you are serving salmon and you want to serve it in portions, smaller portions, it's actually best to cut it before you cook it, because once you cook it, it tends to fall apart rather than staying together. So we're just going to cut this into small serving pieces. And we'll have one left to grow on. So in the meantime, our skillet is heating up, and we'll put a little bit of olive oil in our skillet. And I'm using a non-stick pan here. We're not going to cook this over extremely high heat. Rather than the way that we would normally do salmon with the skin on, this is skinless. So we're going to keep it on fairly moderate heat once we get a little sear going. So let's just go ahead and put our salmon in, get it searing. Okay. And we're just going to let that salmon cook. And one of my guidelines for cooking salmon is, you can see as it cooks, it turns white. So once the white gets about halfway up the salmon, then it'll be time to turn the salmon, to flip the salmon over and cook the other side just a little bit. And once you take it out of the heat, it'll actually continue to cook for for a few minutes. So we'll let that cook, and once it's ready, we'll take it out. We will let it rest while we're putting the rest of our salad together. Okay, so we've got a small piece of salmon here that's, of course, going faster than everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that guy over. That'll be the chef's cut. And this piece it's about halfway up, so I think it's time to turn that one. Look at the beautiful color. All right, that is perfect. And salmon is really best when it's a little bit underdone when you take it off the heat, and it'll just finish cooking on its own with the residual heat. All right, This one's done. And again, our heat is, we're on about a medium heat right now. We're not on a real high heat. We just want to cook it nice and slowly. So while our salmon is finishing, I'm going to get our plate to finish plating our salad. Last one is a little bit thicker than everybody else, so we'll give that one a little bit more time. And just for good measure, let's taste the first one that we took out. Oh, look at that. Just perfectly done. It is heavenly. It's a heavenly flavor. Okay. And one more. And let's go now go ahead and turn this one over. And we're getting a really beautiful crust on the salmon. You know, I find that the thicker a piece of fish is, the lower your temperature needs to be, so that you actually cook it instead of just burning it on the outside. Because if you have the temperature up too high, you just burn the outside of it without the inside actually getting cooked. Okay. And we'll take that off. All right. While those are resting, we can now put our salad together. Okay, to finish this incredible salad. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got our greens here, and you can see over here, I've taken everything that was in water, I've taken it out just to rest it and to let it to dry a little bit on the on some paper towel. So I'm just going to mix my carrots. I've got these really thinly grated carrot slices in here, or carrot pieces, and we're going to mix that into our greens just to have some really nice color. And let's mix in a few of our microgreens as well, just for interest. All right. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a little bit of our dressing on this part of the salad, and just let that get nice and well coated. It doesn't require a lot, but just a little bit, just like that. And just toss that around a little bit. And this part is probably easier done by hand. So what we'll do is we'll just start with our salad right in the middle of our plate here. And we're just going to spread it out, since we've got a nice long plate, just like that. And a little bit more there. And this helps us to get a nice shape to our salad. Okay. Salad's done. So now we can just add our other elements just for interest. Some tomatoes, a few tomatoes here and there. And it's wonderful when you've got, you know, nice beautiful bell peppers for your salad. And you know, you don't have to use every bit of everything, but just wonderful. We've got some very thinly sliced red onions here. And the key to this is just everything is very, very fine and very thinly sliced. That's it for our peppers. And, oh, let's go with our mango next. So a few pieces of mango, and these are a little bit slippery, so we'll use our tongs for that, and a little bit of our clementine. We'll just use some smaller pieces of that. And let's see, and we've got some of our leaves there, but now let's just use some of our beautiful radishes. And what a great, great salad. And it's actually going to be quite a filling salad with all these different elements. There we go. And now we can strategically place some of our fun carrot shapes. And again, you don't have to do all these shapes. It's just something that's kind of fun and just interesting. This is the kind of salad that you could make, you know, you could prepare it long before your guests are coming over. And then just when they arrive, you can just do the salmon part. And let's add some of our nuts throughout. All right. And we'll finish with our strawberries. Just like that. And one more strawberry. And our crowning glory, actually before we do our crowning glory, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of our sauce or our dressing over the top. Just make sure some of the fruit gets some of the dressing. And there's just nothing better than a mixture of this nice, beautiful dressing along with all this fruit. Finish with our salmon on top. And let's just top that with a little bit of our microgreens and one last swipe of our dressing around the plate, just for interest. And there we have it. We've got our pan-seared salmon salad with a honey and lemon dressing. Let's give it a taste. Oh man, oh. It's hard to know where to start. And that dressing, it's fantastic. Try a little bit of the salmon. Okay, one more. Yeah, that is really good. The dressing is just wonderful. You got a little bit of the spice of the salmon, and then the sweetness of the dressing and the tartness with the lemon juice in there, and then the sweetness of the fresh fruit. This is just about a perfect meal. I mean, it's filling. You got lots of different elements here. It's ketogenic. It's very low carb. There's no sugar in it whatsoever, except for the natural sugars found in the fruits, and it's very well balanced. So I hope you'll give this a try. As you can see, it's really easy to do. You just do your preparations beforehand, and just before it's time to serve, just pan sear your salmon and put it together. It's just that easy. So hope you'll give this a try. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, hit that like button down below, and do not forget to subscribe. If you hit that subscribe button, be sure and ring the bell, and that'll notify you every time we release a new video. And don't forget to tell all your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.